Well, hi everybody, Inez Simpson here, and I thought I'd tell you some stories today about my way in Australia and New Zealand. I had a great teaching tour there, and as you know, some of you know anyway, that Simpson Protocol is an evolving training, and it just continues to grow. And when I get to train that many courses together, very close together, great shifts happen. So I'm just going to tell you a little bit about what goes on. So the first thing, and that's really important, is what I found is over the past few years is that there's actually the Simpson protocol is getting more simplified. Actually, it's getting better, and it's getting more done, and it's getting more everything. But it's actually becomes easier. So what I found is that some people who wanted to take Simpson Protocol and had backgrounds in maybe therapy or something else, but not hypnosis precisely, had come in and taken the course, and I didn't know. I had just assumed they had been hypnotists. And they did so well, I understood that as long as they had a background of understanding of working with people, that we could take them easily from zero to Simpson Protocol. Now, we could also take them to hypnosis certification, mentoring that to the end if we need to. If people want certification, it would be post taking Simpson Protocol. So those are the sort of things that we're talking about. So that's kind of interesting because, they could get certified by the NGH because I do that training also. And we will do getting them ready for it. So it's called sort of a mentoring to the full aspects of SP. So I think that's going to kind of interesting, and it will be different. So I also just going to tell you about a little bit about what I think, and I've got a little bit of a new metaphor for explaining SP because people are always asking me, what is it and why, how does it work? Well, what is it? First, it's a protocol that can be used for anything and everything in hypnosis. So what Gina says, one of my trainers is that it's a canvas for you to play your art on. And I like that. But to explain it to a layman, it's in the past, we used to always address, regular hypnosis addresses the subconscious. Now, the subconscious, in our metaphor, of course, is the place that it is all the emotions there and all the programming's there. So if you're using the computer analogy, you're bypassing the critical factor and go back to the source and start deleting, renaming, redoing whatever is in that website or on your internet or on your email, all that kind of stuff. So that's regular hypnosis. We go in and do stuff that way. But in Simpson Protocol, we actually go what we call the superconscious, which I would say is, let me explain it this way. If and when you have something going wrong, you have a virus, you have an error comes up and it says not working, what you have to do is you have to actually go in and access that and change it, true? The trouble is today, and maybe before too, but now it's getting bigger and everything because everything is connected to the internet. You have Alexa, you have Google, you have everything. Everything is connected to that web. Now that's positive and negative because we have more people phishing, we have more people doing scam stuff, and it's always there. So that is continuous there. So what do we do with Simpson Protocol is we're accessing an algorithm. It's a good metaphor. What is an algorithm? Don't ask me to explain it. All I know is that they use it and it continues to learn as it grows. And sometimes, they're not the best yet, but our kind that is our super conscious kind is everything. It's as best it can be. We're much better than computers, So what it does then is that we can access that through the client can access it. And we ask questions and we lead them through and all the other stuff, but we don't need to know what they're even working on. If you see, we can go to simpsonprotocol.com And there's a couple of videos there and a little book that you can sign up. So it's important to learn that and look at it, at least think if you're open for this kind of stuff, because it's very supposedly spiritual, but it's what it is connecting to the web, connecting to that part around us, the whole algorithms that just runs everything. So when you have that access, you can go and disconnect, do whatever needs to be done for each thing. So let's just talk about regular hypnosis. Let's say we're doing smoking or something. I would like to use smoking for it. So smoking, what we do is we go in and we either change what their habit is, or we stop them supposedly in some way from smoking. We do all kinds of things to allow them not to have a cigarette. But the algorithm's still running. Everything is still running. The website, and oh my God, they just touched into one of those websites that wasn't totally cleaned off. And they had a cigarette. And that starts them up again. So what we do in Simpson Protocol is that we go and look for every website, every connection in the web that needs to be addressed. And that's why I call Simpson Protocol a holistic program. We do everything body, mind, and spirit. We also use everything physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. So it isn't one thing. It's a holistic program. And that's how we do that. The algorithm keeps learning. Can I explain to you what the algorithm is? Not exactly. And I can't explain it spiritually or mentally or emotionally either. So I can only tell you that through experience, experiential outcomes. So we're called, instead of evidence-based, which everybody is to a degree, is evidence-based because hypnosis is proven over and over again. But we're also what we call experientially evidence-based, because the experiences that happen continue to teach us to grow better and better at what we're doing, and it continues to evolve. So experience gets done over and over, outcomes get attained over and over again. And and you'll see on those couple of demos.
They get the free book above the demos.
Okay.
So click for the free book.
Okay. Martin says you have to click for the book to get the free demos. So that's okay. So you click for the free book, and there's the 2 demos. And you'll see I do not know what we're working with. So people would call that content free. I don't know if it's the correct term. But what I don't need to know, I don't need to know all the dirty laundry. I don't need to know everything. I like to know if there's something beneficial. But when I'm teaching or doing demos for everyone to see, I totally do not need to know a thing so that they get the work done and they get the outcome. Now, it's not about what work to do. I don't make a decision on what to do. The superconscious makes that decision when we ask it to. So everything gets done. So it's always about doing outcome. To get the outcome, you may have to do quite a few things. So it's just like if you were doing regular hypnosis, you decide, I'm going to do some parts therapy. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Maybe a regression or 2. And, so that's what I'm saying. Is your higher mind, superconscious, all those aspects of the self that's connected to everything will decide what needs to be addressed before you get that outcome. And the hypnotist doesn't make any judgments whatsoever on that. So it's pretty great. So
you can say that mention that, for instance, you don't have to go home wondering if you've done enough because the algorithm.
Yeah, Martin says sometimes when you're doing regular hypnosis, so you've gone home afterwards, he said, gee, I wonder if I should have taken him in this direction or gone here, gone there. And you're sort of all wondering about it and seeing if you could have improved it or whatever. Well, Simpson Protocol takes that sort of second guessing out of your mentality. Because when you learn how to do it exactly how it should be, and as it grows, because my students are getting vast, incredible experiences. And that's one of the reasons, too, that I wouldn't only ever go to a live training on this, because it's an experiential. Remember the experience part? if you don't experience and do. You need to do and experience till you totally understand how that works. So that's what we do. An experiential training, plus with lots of mentoring backup if needed, and websites with that back you up. So there's lots of learning. But the thing is, I use that. People say, do you use that for everything? Yes, I do use it for everything. It's 99% of the time, unless you get someone who there's no way, that 1%er, the 1%er that still we haven't discovered how to get them to let go. That 1%, you know who they are. But we are getting better, and it's actually getting better all the time. So eventually, I'm sure we'll break that. We'll get to the 1% how to get there, because that's just how this is evolving all the time. We get more and more, and the algorithm is actually teaching us what the next step is, because it's gone out into the field and it's connected. And just like algorithms grow in the computer world, it's our knowledge that grows here. Our conscious knowledge starts to grow about what we can do and what we can't. And usually what we can't is our belief systems. And so I always tell people, be open to possibility and just let it happen, because their conscious mind's going to just sit there and chatter and wonder what the heck we're talking about. Because consciously, what the heck, does everybody know everything? I don't know anything very much about quantum physics. I know the basics. I know the ideas. And most people are like me. They don't know everything. So if you're asking questions about something, and they'll say, what the heck was that? But meanwhile, they know or feel or sense or know something's going on, because the algorithm has gone in and reached into the web and disconnected or reconnected or whatever needed to be done to make that ideal for that client. So that's why I'm sort of using that new metaphor a little bit, because you can understand it a little better. So I also didn't talk to you. I'm sort of going erratic here. What I really wanted to talk about too was that I'm doing a training in Regina, Parksville. Regina is in September 14th to 17th. Parksville's 21st of September to the 24th. So the details will be down below. So we're doing those. I'm also doing one in November in Belfast. So for you UK and Europeans, that if you want an English training, we are there. And we've been asked a lot. So I'm actually going to go to Dubai also in November, because I've been asked back there. I haven't been for a couple of years. And I'm going to Brazil, but it's totally sold out apparently. So there's not much point in me talking too much about that, even though there's a pretty big class there. So I'm looking forward to all that. So that all starts in September. So just, you can always check the schedules on simpsonprotocol.com. So I think I might, Martin, have I missed anything? Hey, pretty good. I didn't miss anything. It was sort of convoluted as usual, and as the train wreck. I'm supposed to do things in order, but it doesn't usually happen. So I want to thank you for joining us and listening to me, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.